Good morning, you all. I'm Mamaw. This is the first time that I'm doing a live stream on YouTube, but it won't be my last. I've been doing this quite some time over on Facebook page. I also have a lot of things on Substack and Blue Sky, but I thought I would give YouTube a try. So I hope y'all jump on, ask any questions. I'll always tell you the truth, and if it's none of your business, I'll tell you that too. So I'd like to do a weekly wrap up of commentary about this week with the taco. If you look down below, you'll see all of my posts. I have shorts and I've got videos where I've been educating people and telling them about what's been going on with this administration. So the taco was at an event in Pennsylvania this week. He was supposed to be talking about the economy, but there's not a whole lot that he can say, because the economy isn't good. He's of the mindset that he can just say it over and over and over. And if he just keeps saying it's good, it will be. That's not the case. He is absolutely tanking the economy. When he took over from Joe Biden, we had the best economy in the world. Now, granted, it needed improvement, but we were coming out of a pandemic. Now, with his tariffs, everything in price is skyrocketing. He's done massive layoffs of everybody. Well, if you haven't got a job, you don't have money to spend. Then he went in and decided to wreck everybody's health care. We've had a closure of the government, which tanked everybody. He's wanting to take away food programs. He's already cut USAID, which bought food from farmers and fed the world, as well as the Department of Agricultural programs such as SNAP, which fed families. He's cut all of those. He lives in that gilded castle and he thinks, hey, I'm doing okay. What do you mean you're not doing okay? He is just totally, totally clueless. But one of the things that I really remember is when he was speaking in Pennsylvania. It was about Christmas time. And so he tells everybody in Pennsylvania, well, just buy your kids less dolls. Just buy them two Barbies instead of more. Or just give them two pencils. Well, you know what? His kids don't do without. He's never done without. He is absolutely clueless on what it's like to do without or have to decide what groceries you will or won't buy. I think that's pretty rich of him. And most of the people that support him are suffering. So it's time to wake up, people. He is not good for our economy. So while he's saying that everything we're saying about the economy is a hoax, let's run through a few of these things. Food prices are absolutely up, and a lot of that's due to his tariffs, which still don't make any sense. Auto and home insurance is up. If you don't believe it, wait till you get your insurance bill. You're going to have a heart attack. Utilities are up. I don't know how we're going to continue to keep the lights on in some places because utilities are skyrocketing. We are paying tariffs on damn near everything, not the provider from the other country. We pay them. Let me make this clear. It is a tax. It is a tax that the President of the United States, if you read our Constitution, he's not allowed to levy taxes. He's not. That's the job of Congress. And yet he's levied these tariffs, which is a tax on us. So we are paying an extra tax that never went through Congress. These tariffs, he's saying he's making all this money. The most he's made is $280 billion. And where's that money being housed? Nobody knows. The Treasury Secretary is letting old Taco put his hands in the Treasury like it's his own personal slush fund. That's not how this is supposed to work, people. What's supposed to happen is he goes to Congress, he wants this money, and it's supposed to be appropriated, of which it is not. But I do digress. Property taxes are going up. Now, if you live in rural America, which a lot of us do, the problem with that is that's how we fund our schools. Well, you only have so many property owners. You don't have a big tax break. Usually in rural America, we're not at these big high paying jobs. We can't keep sustaining this. This is just not sustainable in the long term for people to continue to own property especially in rural America with property taxes going up. We have fewer food banks, and the food banks we do have are suffering in short term because remember I said he's cutting back on SNAP benefits and USAID. There's no place to put the food. Healthcare with the ACA, just because Barack Obama came up with it, Taco can't stand it. He's not about to continue that. So he wants it killed. He has nothing better in place. He has been saying he had a better plan within 2 weeks since 2020. People, he don't know what he's talking about. He's talking out his ass. So we don't have a better plan. The Republicans have yet to come up with a better plan. All they care about is that you don't have health care, but they do. We have interest rates are still way too high, so you can't go out and buy a new car because the interest rates are too high, the price is too high, and heck, if people aren't buying the car, the auto manufacturers are gonna start laying off. You see where we're going with this? From a man, now keep in mind, every president who's had any kind of wealth before they took office put everything they had into a trust, or they completely divested their assets. What the taco's done is put everything into a trust, but he's the sole beneficiary. Since January of this year, when he took office, he has made $3 billion off of the office of the presidency. That office is for sale. I think he's selling pardons because it's awfully weird that he has pardoned more people than the last 10 presidents combined, and we're only 12 months into his presidency this term. So think about that. And the people that he's pardoning, we attacked boats because he said he's on this war on drugs against Venezuela. And yet he pardoned the president of Honduras, who was convicted by a jury and sentenced to 45 years as one of the largest drug traffickers in the world. Gave him a pardon. He gave a pardon to a gentleman who was using Bitcoin to fund terrorists. He's giving pardons to everyone who participated in the January 6th riots against the Capitol, the insurrections. So, what's he doing with all these pardons? And what's the price of a pardon? So, these are things that we're going to keep exploring and looking into. He spends millions of our tax dollars every month on his golf trip. He's spending millions of dollars on his ballroom. He says it's coming from private donors. Well, where's that money being held? Because that should be in an escrow account. Who funded tearing down the East Wing before he ever had plans for a ballroom? He's already fired one architect, so we have half of the White House missing and nothing to put up in its place. So, there's a lot to look at in this administration. So that's what we're going to start doing and exploring on my Mamaw Lives on Friday here on YouTube. If all of you have any questions, be more than glad to answer them. I see Rick Flood has jumped on here. Well, happy Friday to you too. And your new favorite is bloviating. Yes, bloviating is a good term for the taco. You'll find that I have interesting names for his administration. We have Taco. I've now determined Stephen Miller will be Mr. Hanky. If you're a South Park fan, you know who I'm talking about. We have Blondie Pam Bondi, the protector of pedophiles, Petey Pie Hegseth, Pootie Poo Putin. We have Dress Up Barbie Christy Nome. So you get the idea. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this too. So this was my first chance to jump on here and try out the YouTube Live. I've never done it before. You can always catch me on Facebook. And like I said, I have great articles on Substack. One of the other things I've been doing is talking to candidates across the country. I'm really trying to promote veteran candidates because I want people that will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. This whole deal with Captain Kelly is absolutely outrageous. In that, I have interviewed Todd Achilles, who's running as an independent for the Senate seat in Idaho. I have interviewed Brian Bangs, who's running as an independent in the state of South Dakota for Congress. He is also a veteran. He's a former JAG officer. And Ty Pinkins in Mississippi. Ty Pinkins is running as an independent for the Senate seat in Mississippi, and he is also an attorney. Really good conversations. You can watch those below. In addition, I went down to Kentucky and I interviewed Amy McGrath, who's running for Senate in Kentucky again. She's amazing. And when Petey Pie Hegseth said they've lowered the standards for women, they haven't talked to Amy McGrath. There were no standards lowered for that fighter pilot, and she's still got a lot of fire in her gut. So I really hope you'll support Amy McGrath. And then I do some local things. One of the other really good conversations that I had that you can watch below is Reverend Dr. Caleb Lyons. You know, they've tried to hijack our religion with all of this going on, and he has great pushback against MAGA. So I hope that you will watch his stuff and watch our interview because that was a lot of fun. You'll notice on some of my shorts that I'm a bit irreverent at times. Trust me, the Tacos administration is very deserving of my biting sarcasm. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you will let people know about Mamaw. And we're going to have fun this winter since I can't be on my porch. So, with that, Rick Flood says, I haven't heard an explanation of why it was necessary to seize a Venezuelan oil tanker. Yes, Tracy, we are all pirates now. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit then if you want to. We are doing illegal operations where it's concerning Venezuela as it is. First of all, Congress has not approved any damn thing. So when they keep saying war crimes, we're not at war, people. There has been no declaration of war. These shipments, if they do have drugs on them, are not bound for the United States. You need to look on a big old map. Them little old boats going to come anywhere near the United States. So we're out there murdering people. Taco is murdering people, he and Petey Pie Hegseth, in our name. So think about that. You are a co-conspirator if you are a citizen of the United States and you're letting this man go out and do these things in your name without any questions. And so we started out saying that this was all about drugs. Then we found out that we're murdering helpless people that are floating on flotsam after strikes, and we decide we don't want any witnesses. But then he pardons the president of Honduras, who is the largest drug dealer. So it's really not about drugs now, is it? Then we turn around now and we've decided that we're going to seize oil tankers because they are financing terrorism and they're going to Iraq or Iran. Okay. Why are we now saying that we may put troops on the ground? And again, there's been no declaration of war from Congress. And in the Constitution, any declarations of war have to go through Congress. So I'm asking you why? It's because Taco wants that oil and he wants the rare earth minerals in Venezuela. He's following his best friend Putin's stance on what Putin has done to Ukraine. So Taco thinks he can do it to Venezuela because he doesn't like the Venezuelan president who won't kiss his butt. Now, Maduro is not a good guy. I'm not saying that at all. Maduro is not a good guy, but he's also a sovereign nation. And we're not going to get into nation building. We were over in in Afghanistan for 20 damn years and never got anything accomplished. When we left, it went back the way it was. So I think it's really that he just wants the oil. Now, here's the problem with taking the oil. The oil that he's already taken, if he floods U.S. markets with Venezuelan oil, he is going to destroy U.S. manufacturers, just like he has the farmers. You look at what he did to our farmers. He threw those tariffs on. China and India said, well, to hell with you. Then we'll go find our produce and grain elsewhere. And they did. They went to South America. They got contracts in. Then the Taco gave Argentina $40 billion to prop them up. And guess what? Some of the contracts that China got was from Argentina. They did away with USAID, which purchased a food and grain. And so here in a bumper year, our crops sit in piles or going to rot, farmers still not being paid. And we got a market now flooded, and we've lost our customers to South America. Now, keep in mind, those of you who are small business owners, once you lose a customer, they typically don't come back. So there you go. It's that kind of mentality that cost our farmers. Now he's going to do it with the oil that he's capturing. And guess what? We're the ones who are going to suffer. It's like Putin sat his little puppet down and told him, "This is how I want you to destroy America." And Taco is doing it. He's crashing the economy when there was no reason to. He's laying off hundreds of thousands of people or causing them to be laid off. He's taken away all of our inspectors generals who were independent and checking things out. He's put in idiots into places. I mean, we've got Brainworm Man running our health, really. So let's make everybody sick again. He is absolutely a one man wrecking crew. So, yeah, that's what's going on in Venezuela. He just wants the oil because he's going to further take a wrecking ball to our economy. Rick Flood, Republicans need more than a spine. Them old boys need to grow a set of cojones. And there again, it seems like the only people that'll stand up to Taco are women. The women reporters that Taco is talking to and calling horrible names, let me tell you something. At least they're asking the hard questions. And I would like to say to those women reporters, you don't have to take abuse. I don't even care if it is the president of the United States. You need to correct him, tell him that you are a professional doing your job, and that you do not have to take abuse, especially from the president of the United States. You need to call him out. And when he says he didn't say something, you need to already have keyed up on your phone him saying what you're quoting and hold it up and turn that volume on loud for everybody to hear. That's what you need to be doing. This is enough. Taco will back down. If you shove him up against the wall with proof positive, you back him down. That's why we call him Taco. Trump always chickens out. All righty, folks. Well, I'm going to conclude my live chat for today, but we're going to set up something regular. I just wanted to see if this would work and people would jump on, and you have. I appreciate it. But I hope that you will go down and review all of my drops that I've done because I think they're fun. I think they're very informative. I give you a lot of information on the Constitution, posse comitatus, and the events of the day. So those are all available to you on YouTube and help me build my YouTube following. I have over 87,000 followers on Facebook, and I'd like to get a good following out here on YouTube as well. And Rick says, thank God for tough women. And oh, by the way, if you don't have a nickname for Secretary Christie, no, ma'am. Yeah, I call her Dress Up Barbie. I don't think she knows who she is. And can you believe the Mar-a-Lago look? These women, Christy Nome was one of them, um, that have totally disfigured their faces. Kimberly Guilfoyle did it. They all have to get this Mar-a-Lago look, and you have a choice of two looks. You can either look like Ivanka or you can look like Melania. And they disfigure their faces. They over inject their lips to where they look like cartoon caricatures. And then they get those ridiculous hair extensions in. Yeah, it's a sad thing, but she dressed up Barbie. And I think that here's the other thing cracks me up. Virtually anybody that is in his cabinet. Have you not paid attention to his MO? That old leopard ain't changing his spots. If it starts getting tight, he is not one to ever take responsibility for anything. So, what he's going to do is he's going to cut bait because he can't fish. So, Christy Nome, You aren't long for this world. And Petey Pie Hegseth, you ain't long for this world either. The big issue is once we flip that Congress and Senate, Petey Pie and Kristi Noem could be subject to some charges. If he doesn't get rid of them beforehand, they certainly could be impeached by our Congress. And remember, the president cannot pardon you for any state charges. Okay. Rick, what else? Oh, Tracy, thank you for spreading the truth, honey. I try. That's all I know how to do. I might be a simpleton. I might be an old mamaw, but I'll tell you what, I research everything before I say it. And I have no problems in saying it because people need information. And I never thought I'd say this because I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it is to the point where you can't say that you trust mainstream media on television anymore because the networks have become corrupt because it's about making money and they're cutting back and they're getting rid of good journalists. So that's why all these journalists are getting their own space. And that's why you have people like Mamaw out there. Okay, we're going to do some old fashioned reading and we're going to find out stuff. So that's why I started doing this because, again, I think that rural America has been forgotten. And I'm going to explain things in just common, simple terms that's short, sweet, and to the point. So have fun going through my stuff, and I'll see you again next week. Oh, yeah, Rick, they're absolutely worthless. Rick said he's chosen this circle because they're worthless. We have a saying, but I don't think I can say it, but they're worthless as on a boar hog. That's what they are. Talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for joining me and spread the word. And I will start announcing that I will have a live on YouTube. Bye bye.